everybody. Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for your social media and marketing tips and tricks. I'm Amy Stack, and today I'm going to be going over how to do a basic setup of your Keller Williams website. Today I have a volunteer who has actually given me access to her account to use as a setup. So Patty Hansen is on the call with us today. So I might be referring to her for some questions about specifics on how she wants her site set up, but I wanted to use a real site that you guys would all be able to see. So please remember to go ahead and hit subscribe when you are on that YouTube channel, and go ahead and hit the bell if you want to get a notification via email every time a new video is uploaded. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to get started. I'm going to do our tutorial section first, and then after that we can do Q&A, so make sure to write down those questions and hold them for that Q&A section. 1 second while I share my screen here. All right. So far, this is just the main login screen of Command. So if you've never logged in, you're going to go to agent.kw.com. And then this is the dashboard that is showing right now. And I am logged in to Patty's account. Thank you to Patty for letting us use you as our guinea pig today, our little sample page. All right. So the first thing you want to do is come over to the left-hand side to all of your icons, and you're going to scroll down to the bottom and look for the one that says Consumer, and go ahead and click on that. Then once this page loads, we want you to go and click on the button at the top, kind of near the left, that says Agent Site Pages. And right here, we don't have anything loaded in here. Some of you, if you've played around with this already, might have some pages in there, and that's fine. Patty's is a blank slate, so we're going to start with hers with nothing showing so far. I do want to show you really quick, there is this button here called Configure Your Site. And this is where we get in, whoops, I didn't mean to highlight that. Configure Your Site is where we're actually going to start today. This is how you start the Kelly guide. So this is going to bring up kind of step-by-step process for you to fill out everything you need. But before we do that, I do want to let you know there's this button up here that says Site and App Settings in the top right. And if you click on that, it's kind of a quicker access to that information that we'll be filling out today. So if you want to change something later, it'll be a little quicker to go in through this Site and App Settings button, and then you can look at General or URLs or your theme. So you'll notice that those all come up in the Kelly guide we're reviewing today. So I'm going to go back and start on that Kelly guide. So we're in Agent Site Pages and Configure Your Site. You want to choose the beginning one that says I want to use the KW agent site, and then we're going to hit submit. That is the site that's provided for free from KW. And we're just going to hit get started on the next page there. And we're going to go ahead and hit acknowledge and continue. That is saying that you acknowledge that you have to keep your site compliant, and you're going to do everything for your state's rules to make it so. All right. The first thing we see on this page, you can see that there's 4 sections, and we are in our subdomain section. So the first thing we want to choose is what our subdomain is going to be. I'm actually going to pull up another website as well, just so I can show you some of the stuff on a live site. Our subdomain is this part of the URL at the top. So it's everything before the .kw.com. So you can see Patty's, it's already been pre-filled in for her. And Patty, if you wanted to change your website, now would be an opportunity to do that. If you already have your site kind of marketed everywhere and you don't want to change it, we can leave it exactly how it is. Do you have a preference on that?
I think I would like to change it.
Okay.
To Patty will sell your home.
Let's see if it's taken. Make sure I spelled it right. Will sell. Yes. Okay. So then what you do once you reset your subdomain, you can just go ahead and hit claim domain. And it looks like that has not been taken. So Patty, you're in luck. That is now your new website, pattywillsellyourhome.kw.com. Congrats.
Thank you.
So keep in mind, if you are changing your subdomain, if you've got marketing materials out there with your old domain, that no longer work. So you want to just keep that in mind before you make any decisions on your subdomain. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and click that marketing profile button. Now, one of the prereqs I said for the class was to fill out your marketing profile, and Patty does have hers filled out. So you can see that this information has actually auto-populated into here for her. If you have not filled it out, that's okay. You can definitely fill it out directly from the screen, or you can fill out your profile first and then come back into here. You'll notice a lot of these fields have little asterisks. So if you do not have those fields filled out and you try to hit save and continue, it will not let you proceed to the next line, the next section of the website editor. So we want to make sure everything looks good in here. And Patty, if there's something you see you want to change, you just let me know.
Okay.
And this all looks good. You're out of Naperville. Now, so team or business name. So you could put, this is my brokerage. I'm Keller Williams Premier Properties. So you could put your brokerage name in there. You can also put something like Patty's an independent agent, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we could do something like this, put realtor. And then I know Patty has a couple of designations. So we could put her designations in there as well. And where that's
going to do it so that the realtor has, like it is below with the,
oh yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm going to show you on this live site where that's going to show up. And one spot you'll see it is right here at the top for the drop down. So that's what we're editing right here. And then you'll see it right here as well under your name whenever this like mini profile comes up.
Okay.
Okay. And we could also duplicate this into your professional title so that matches. So this is kind of up to you. If you guys are on a team, you probably want to put your team name here. If you're an independent agent, then you can use that at your own discretion. And so since we have realtor as your title, I think we still want to put your accreditations here, certifications. So I'm going to leave that unless you want me to update it. And then we have your email. So however you want to be contacted, those are all the contact fields in there, and your biography. So Patty's already filled hers out in her marketing profile, so that fed right in. And then she's got her license number in here and a compliance and legal footer. This is required by international, so make sure you leave that each office is independently owned and operated in there. If your managing broker wants you to add anything, just check with them as well. However, Keller Williams has done a great job, and they've actually built in a lot of the compliance stuff right into the footer. So I know that for our market centers and the E2P group, is that footer that's built in is good to go as long as you have the each office is independently owned and operated. If you're watching from outside our area, just check with your managing broker to make sure you're up to date with all the compliance rules. And then here we have your market center or brokerage license number. So Patty, we actually don't need your market center number in here. We're just going to leave it as the brokerage number.
Oh, okay.
And then this is going to be your office phone number, not your office. Like if you're on a team and your team has an office, this is like your actual market center, your Keller Williams office number. And this is, again, a compliance thing so that the public can easily access the office if they need to. And for here, compliance and legal footer, again, for my offices, you don't have to put anything in there. If you want to, if you have a link to something else that has more compliance information, you can absolutely put that in there, but we do not have to add anything additional for our locations here. Same thing with the footer images. Okay. Then as we go down for imagery, you can see Patty's information is popped up in here because she had it in her marketing profile. I do want to go over a couple of things with this. You can see that your profile picture, it's asking for a 360 by 360. A lot of people have rectangular logos and headshots and run into issues with it getting distorted there.
Yeah,
so you can go to,
tasks.
let me just mute that. You can, I think I got it. You can go to this website. It's a free website. It's just JPEG compressor. Right here, so compressjpeg.com, and that will make your file size a little smaller if you get an error that your file size is too large, and that'll help with resizing to get the right dimensions in here for you. You can also do the, so that's a like the actual file resizer, not necessarily it's not going to change the shape of it, but you can also just do a Google search if it really is like too tall or really too wide. You can do a Google search for free programs that will also change, you know, a rectangular logo into a square logo and stuff like that. So Patty's got her headshot in here. So profile picture is always going to be your headshot. And then the next option is your market center or brokerage logo. So that will be your office logo. It might say DBA in there. You definitely want to make it be your office logo. And then the team or header logo. So if you are on a team, you probably have a team logo. That's what's going to go right in here. If you are not on a team and you're an independent agent and you have your own logo like Patty does, you can put your individual logo in there. And then I get questions from people who are independent and don't have their own logos on if they should put something in there or not. That's totally up to you. What will happen is there will be a little image that will come up next to the logo here. Actually, I think I have one more I can show you as an example. Let's see here. So Patrick he chose to put his headshot in there twice. So his headshot is also that second image. So you can see he's got his office logo next to his headshot up here. So whatever you put in this section that says team or header logo will show up right here at the top left of your website. It will also show in your tiny little circle associated with your main headshot photo. So he does have it showing twice here. Most people aren't going to notice that or don't, you know, it doesn't really matter. Some people will just do a generic KW. So they'll have their office logo in here and then just one like this. That's just the KW in here if you need, if you want to put something in there. Just a heads up, once you do put something in there, it won't let you delete it. You'll only be able to replace it. So just keep that in mind. Going forward, oh, Patty, you got everything filled out. Good job. We've got all our social media sites in here. So if you don't have your own social platforms that you want to share, you can do exactly what Patty did and use the KWRI sites, or you can use your brokerage sites. So like I know for our office, we have a Facebook and we have a LinkedIn and we just set up a YouTube channel. So you can put your own in there, your brokerage ones, or the international ones. Or you don't have to put any in there at all. It's totally up to you. It's your website.
Amy?
Yes.
I didn't fill those in. Those are not what I sent you yesterday.
Oh, well, then I will go ahead and copy and paste those right in. So it looks like since I've done this class, they have updated to auto-populate the international ones, which is nice to know.
Yeah, so this will, what you...
Patty's. Now, Patty, would you like me to leave the international Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn?
I sent you the LinkedIn as well.
Oh, I'm looking through your email. I see, let's see, Instagram, Facebook. It's not showing.
LinkedIn should be right under that.
Yeah, it's not showing up. That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? It showed up. It all copied as one link. That's what happened. Let me fix your Facebook link. It took your Facebook and your LinkedIn combined as one. When I hit copy there. There we go. So would you like me to leave Twitter and YouTube as the international ones, or would you like me to remove them?
I'll leave them as international at this time.
Perfect. So you guys remember, you can always come in and change any of this information. The last thing on this page is our app link, which should auto-populate for you. And if it doesn't, I'll go over that in the workshop part of the class because you have to get out of this section to get the information for that. But this should auto-populate for you with your branded app information. The way you know that it's branded to you is it will have the app.kw.com/ and it will say KW, and then it will have some letters and numbers. So if you don't have this last part of the link, it's not branded to you. If you do, then you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit save and continue. You could copy this app link if you wanted to and open it up in a new browser just to see what it looks like, but I know that hers is set up right. So I'm going to keep going, hit save and continue. And you can see I got the green light at the top there, and it just took me into the next section, which is style and theme. So the first thing on style and theme you get to choose between is red or dark. This doesn't change a whole lot. if you look at this KW on the left,
No.
that's one of the things that'll change. So we have a black KW or a red KW, and it changes just a little bit of the color and a couple of the other pages as well. Patty, do you have a preference on how you want that to appear?
Red, please.
All right, red it is. Then we have our homepage text, which is this information right here where it says find your dream home. So if you want to have something different in the search, all you have to do is type right in there. Patty, do you have a preference on what you want it to say above that search bar?
I didn't even think about that.
So it can be, popular ones I've seen are find your dream home, start your search now, start looking here, anything like that. Like I said, you can always come back and update this.
How about begin your next chapter?
They'll filter based on which tables you got. So
Got an exclamation point?
rains
are
coming.
Oh, let me mute that. Give me 1 second, guys. Gotta find. Oh, looks like everybody's muted. Maybe it's me or Patty. All right. So we have begin your next chapter. So you can see as I update that on the right, it just updates on the preview on the left for us. And then we have upload a homepage hero image. So if you're not aware, this picture in the background is called your homepage hero image. You can see as I scroll down, there's actually 5 in there. So what will happen when you're live on the website is the pictures will rotate through. So it just switched from one to the other. And there's 5 that are pre-programmed in there. They're the same for every KW agent. You do have the ability to change them. Just know that once you delete one of the original ones, there's no way that I'm aware of to get them back. So if it's one that you like, I wouldn't delete it. You can see it does put the specs for those images right in here. Okay, so you could do some seasonal ones if you want to update it a few times a year. You can make it look more like your area. Like we don't have a lot of red roof homes in our area. Sometimes we'll see pictures that have like palm trees or something in it. We don't have that out here in the Midwest. So if it doesn't look like your area, I would definitely recommend swapping them out. And even if you don't want to swap them out, you can just hit the little trash can and it will delete it. This section will hold up to 5 images. However, it's not required to have 5 in there. The minimum is 1. So I'm going to keep scrolling down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit save and continue, and we'll go on to our next section. So now you can see we're on the content section. And we will actually have the option to add, I believe it's 3 content pages here. This is where I get a lot of questions. This first one that pops up is titled as company profile. This is a widget that you can always add in later as well. So this is the layout of it. And you can see you can add your own text and information in here as desired. If you are on a team, I definitely recommend talking to your Rainmaker before you edit this page, because they might want it matching on everybody's page to have team information in there. If not, let me pull up Patrick's site here again. You can see Patrick actually split it and he did something a little bit more advanced, and he broke it up into, he made 2 of the same layout of pages, one called Why Buy with Patrick. So he put information about buying with him on one and selling with him on one as well. You can see he changed the header of the second one. So these are just a couple of ideas. These are your websites, so you can do whatever it is that you want with them. I usually recommend, if you're not sure what you want to do, go ahead and skip this one right now, because you don't want a blank page showing up on your website. If you do know what you want to do with it, all you have to do is hit this content button and you can start typing in on the right-hand side, and your changes will be reflected on the left-hand side. So Patty, unless you know something right now you want to put in there, I'm just going to hit skip on this one, and we can always come back to it in the future.
That sounds good.
All right, so by hitting skip, it will not put that on your live website. It will take us to our next page, which is our about page. And again, we still have these same options that we had on the last page. to update. Okay, so under the search engine option optimization, you can see we have page title, and that does have a red asterisk. So you have to have a page title here. You can make it about me, you can make it about Patty. You saw on Patrick's page, everything is about Patrick. It's in the third person. So I definitely recommend sticking with the same, I guess, tense throughout. So either have it say about me or have it say about Patty, and then refer to yourself like, Patty, you did a good job here. You continued saying, you know, about Patty here. And make sure that it's cohesive throughout. So you don't want to say, I'm an agent from this area, and then say, Patty's lived in this area for this many years. Just make sure it follows the same syntax throughout. And let's see here.
Could you change it to about Patty?
I sure can.
And
So-
then I noticed that it has the SCR, that realtor and
Yes.
duplicate.
So this is what I was going to mention earlier, or I did mention a little bit that was going to show up in a couple of places. And I want to show you guys how once you get past the guide, you can come back and make edits. So remember I said it would show up in a couple of places, your title and your team. So this is another place. So if you don't like how that looks because it's showing in there twice, I'll show you guys how to edit that in just a little bit. Because right now we can't edit that from this page, but we can go back and correct that for you. Okay, so then we have our content, which your bio pulled in from your marketing profile. So that's absolutely perfect. Right now, there's not a lot of formatting available with this. So it's just going to be text right in there, and then your phone number and email will auto-populate. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. And then we have our contact page. So same thing, you can change where it says contact us. So maybe we make it contact Patty. Okay. And then I can edit the content of the page. So you can see right here, it says contact page, body text optional. So you could say something like, looking to learn more. You could say anything that you want, like how can I serve your real estate needs, anything like that. You don't have to have anything in this little paragraph. If you want to leave it blank, you absolutely can. Then we have first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Those are standard. They're set in place. We can't update those, but you probably want that for everybody anyways. And then you can choose to update the message that auto-populates in this box here. So this is a hint. It's just kind of a prompt for the people filling out this contact form. So if they're not 100% sure what to say to you, this kind of gives them an idea of what they could say. So Patty, do you like what this says right now?
It looks fine, yes.
Perfect. So then we're happy with this. We're going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And now we've created the 2 pages and we skipped the one, and we're done with the Kelly guide. So all we have to do is hit that X. You can see it brought us right back to that consumer section. I want to go back to agent site pages. And now you can see that there are 2 pages listed here where there was nothing showing before. You can also see on the right-hand side that there's a blue eyeball here. That means that it's live. If the eyeball is gray, you've created the page, but it's not live to the public. So I want to go ahead and click that little eyeball, and then we can see what it looks like live to the public. Okay. Good job, Patty.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to show you is now that we've done the Kelly guide, you might not necessarily want to go back into that to make a little edit every single time. So that's why I had mentioned at the beginning, we can do the site app settings here. So you can see we have a few options in here if you want to change your header images or that text, if you want to add new text in there, and so on and so forth. That is what I was talking about before. And if you ever forget what your website is, when you click on this URL link, it'll load for a second. It will show you, we updated Patty's, her link is now pattywillsellyourhome.kw.com. So if you ever forget it, that's where you can get your website link. And this is also the spot you can get your app URL. So if your app URL wasn't filled in there, you can come to this URL section here and copy it right from here. If you have it on your phone, you can also send it to yourself right through the app and copy the link. from your phone. You can email it to yourself or text it to yourself, however you want to get that. Okay. One more thing you need to know is that right here, there's a little toggle that says use my information to brand my agent site. So if we turn this off, which is the default, so if you haven't turned it on, let me refresh Patty's page here. So see how it's saying, oh no, this page is lost? It's because we turned off her branding. So if you're going to your site and it's just showing a general Keller Williams site, make sure you have this button toggled on. Go ahead and hit acknowledge and continue. And you want to make sure that you've got that little green button there. So now if I refresh the page, we're live again. Ta-da! And that is your basic setup for your website. So I told you it wouldn't take that long to go through there. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions. I'm going to go back to that one section that we want to update your description or your team name, Patty. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to open up the chat here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves or type questions in the chat. And I'm going to go back to the agent site options here.
I noticed it didn't change that about me to about Patty.
Oh, I may not have hit save. Let me double check that while I'm in here. Okay.
And Amy, where was that toggle on off button again that you just showed?
So that is in, I can't show you on this page.
All right.
1 second. So when you're in consumer, you're going to go to agent site. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go straight to that. You don't have to go to the agent site to get to that button. You're going to click this site and app settings, and it's right here. So site and app settings is where you want to go from the consumer icon.
Got it.
I believe you can also get to
Okay.
it from
I
settings.
see it now. Okay, thanks.
Amy, if we wanted to do a, we have a team and we want to add 2 or 3 team members, because I'm just starting to do that too. How do we set that up? Just, you know, I have an idea.
So that is a widget that you can get to. Let me fix this one thing that we were talking about with Patty, and I can show you how to do that.
Sure.
And there was one other thing I thought of. Oh, one thing I didn't cover, which is a new thing. It's not part of the basic setup. It's not part of that Kelly guide, but you can now add featured listings to your website as well. So I can show you guys how to do that too, because we have plenty of time. I went too far. Go back. All right, come on. Let's see.
I noticed it says team name under my name.
Where?
Oh, on the last page you were on.
Here?
Yes, if you
Right.
look.
So that's the blank part that I'm going back to fix right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. So that's this part here. So the team name, that's this. And what will usually pop up here. I haven't updated your site yet to reflect that. So this is where a lot of independent agents will put their brokerage. You could even put like a tagline there if you wanted to, if it was short enough. I'm not sure if there's a character limit on that. Let's see. Go ahead and hit save. We're going to refresh your page so we can see what the changes look like. See how now it says Keller Williams Infinity up there? And then if I scroll down, it says Keller Williams Infinity under your name as well.
Okay.
So there's a couple places you can play around with. So you can see now it doesn't show your credentials right here. It only shows it on your about page. I'll go back in and look at this too. Oh yeah, it didn't reflect there either. Your about page just isn't taking my updates.
I know.
Sometimes they don't feed the second you do it, but we can dig around into that as well. Okay. So then we were asking about adding some team pages. Now, Patty, I'm not actually going to add it to your site, but I'm just going to show everybody how to how to get there. And just so
If you find team members for me, I'm not going to argue with
all
you.
right. Just so everybody is aware, I have a class already recorded that talks about some advanced KW site applications. And this is kind of one of the things that I go over in there. So when you are on your agent site pages, if you want to add more pages than the ones that are currently here because of the Kelly Guide, just hit that Create New Site button at the top right. And you're going to do something that's on my page. If you hit a standalone page, that will be a landing page that is not linked to your website at all. So if you want it on your site, you're going to choose On My Agent Site and hit Create Page. And it will come up with a blank page for you. You can see on the right-hand side, there is a widget called Team. So if I click and hold that and drag that over to the left, the widget populates in there for us. And then you hit Configure Widgets, select Team, and then you can start typing in here and add as many people to your team as you need. Now, Patty doesn't have anything in the dropdown because her command is not configured for a team. If you are on a team, you should have some dropdown options in here, and then you can customize the stuff that's on the left-hand side here. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. We don't want to actually add that to her page. So once you've done that widget, there is one more step to make it live, but that is how you get in to start getting it set up. Patty, do you have any listings right now?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, that's okay. I want to show you when we go to the site and app settings, there is a button here called Featured Listings. So if you do have featured listings, you can type that information in there. However, remember at Keller Williams, we love to share and we have access to the whole MLS. So when I click that Select Listings button, I can come over to the top right and I can say all listings instead of only my listings, and it should start populating. It doesn't like me today. I bet there's something on Main Street somewhere. Here we go. So let's say you talked to one of these list agents, this Dustin guy, and you're like, okay, pretend this is our area. And you say, this is in my area. I would really love to advertise your listing on my website. And he says, sure, that's fine. All you have to do is hit select and then hit done. And that listing will show up as a featured listing on your website.
And how many featured listings can you have?
That's a good question. So Pete has that set up on his page. Oh, that wasn't right. Is it EA Homes? I believe this is his site. All right. So I want to say 10, but I'm not 100% sure. But what'll happen is they'll show up just below this search field. And you can see he has, if he only had 3, it would just show the 3, but it's showing there's another one over here. So if I hit this arrow, it moves over. But he only has the 4 listed in there right now. So if you have more, it'll just kind of scroll through them. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what the limit is at this point in time. But this is the section you can do that in. So I'm going to hit cancel, but yes, keep in mind, even if you guys do not have listings, you have access to all of the listings. So if an agent is giving you permission to advertise for them, go ahead and add that to your page. And what's it going to hurt? Get them some more leads and use some buyers maybe? And let's see, Trish, I see that you sent something in the chat. My email address needs to be updated. Who should I contact? Oh, I would definitely reach out to your director of agent services. If you need help with that, you can do it through my KW as well. Let me see if I can get that pulled up really quick. So if you log into my KW, which is the same login as your command login, and then go to technology and my this KW email, that is how you can update your email settings with Keller Williams. And if this isn't working, I would definitely reach out to your director of agent services or whoever helped do your onboarding. Good question. Okay, so we talked about featured listings. We talked about adding a page. Oh, we want to see, let me get back into your about page here. So one question that is probably going to pop up once you guys are playing around with this is, how do I edit a page on my site that's already existing? And it's not quite as intuitive as you would think. There are these little buttons over here, and The only thing you can do with that is hit delete. You can't actually edit a site from the consumer page at this time. You can, however, edit your pages through designs. So if I go ahead and click on designs on the left-hand side, you can see we have a few designs in here. And if I click agent sites, you can see we have agent profile, contact us, and one with new agent site here. So if I click on agent profile, I bet this is the about section, and it is. So now I can come in and edit anything I want to. So remember, to start editing, you just hit that configure widget button at the bottom and select the name. So for some reason that didn't save when I changed it to about Patty. So we'll leave it in there now. And then let's fix this here. And I'm going to hit save and apply. And there we go. What do you think?
While you're in there,
Yeah.
I like it. While you're in there, could you put hyphens in the agent phone number?
Ooh, I don't think it will allow us to. See how there's a limit here of 11 characters?
Yes.
Otherwise, yes,
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that for you.
Okay.
That is one thing that is a little finicky about the editor, is it's very limited on the characters for the phone numbers. But it's gonna be the same for everybody, so it's not just you, if that makes you feel better.
Mhm.
Okay.
If I have a website that I actually am still paying for through eEdge. How would I get that forwarded? How do I get people to look at this site instead?
So
If
you are paying
that is-
for a domain name?
Say that again.
Is it a domain name that you're paying for?
I'm paying for the pro website from Market Leader right now.
And what's the,
Chicagoland Dream Homes.
okay, so if you want to keep Chicagoland Dream Homes, but you don't want it to go to the Market Leader site and you want it to come here to your Keller Williams site, you'll
Mhm.
need to go to whatever service you purchase that domain name through, whether it's GoDaddy or something else, and they will be able to help you point the domain name to pattywillsellyourhome.kw.com. So this site that I showed you, which is Pete Economos' site, so
Yeah.
if I type in eahomes.net, it's still going to take me to his Keller Williams site.
Okay.
So that's essentially what would happen, but you have to do that with the company that you purchased the domain name through, because they're the ones that have the power to do that.
Okay.
Okay?
'Cause I've had some confusion with that with Market Leader because it's $99 a month,
Yeah.
and they were saying that I'll have to talk to them because I don't quite understand why.
So you can cancel your subscription with Market Leader. That whole website will go away. Your domain name should be a separate thing. So you purchase
Yes,
the
it is.
domain name and you purchase the Market Leader site. They should be two separate things that are
Oh,
just
okay.
merged together right now. So
Okay.
if you own that domain name, assuming Market Leader doesn't own it, if you own it, you can point it wherever you want to.
And I do. I own it through GoDaddy.
Perfect. Then you can point it here and then cancel that service with eEdge with Market Leader.
That's nice to get $100 a month back.
Save a little bit of money.
Mhm.
All right. Do we have any other website questions that I can help you with what we went over today? No, not yet. Do you guys want?
If we still have time,
Mhm.
I know that you've showed us this before, but I want to shorten my Facebook link to not have all the gobbledygook after.
Oh, sure. I can show you that. Okay, so what Patty's talking about is when you go on Facebook. Well, okay, I have two questions. Are you saying when you share your link or actually on Facebook? So,
When I did the information to send to you yesterday,
mhm.
and I did the copy of the link, it was very long.
Yes. So
And
this
that's
is
what you put
your
in.
link up at the top of the screen. So are you saying you want to actually shorten this whole link through Facebook, or you want me to show you how to do the bit.ly, how you can shorten any length, anytime, anywhere?
I think I'll choose the second.
Okay. So anytime you guys have a long URL that you would like to shorten because maybe you're putting it on something print and you don't want people to have to type in a URL that's this long, and it's much easier to type in a short one if they want to look it up, you can go to this site called bit.ly. And I just put a video up on my YouTube channel on how to do this and how to create a page and then create links through bit.ly. So you come to bit.ly and you can just type in bit.ly or bit.ly and you'll just hit create. You don't have to set up an account. I definitely recommend that you do. They do have free accounts. You can pay to do upgraded stuff as well, but you can set up an account for free, and then that will remember all of the links that you've ever created, which is nice. Then you don't have to worry about keeping track of all of them. So I just copied this link that's Patty's Facebook URL. And I'm going to paste it right into this box that says paste long URL. You can see it's that really long one. And then automatically, I didn't do anything. After I hit paste, whoops. Well, here it is. It automatically assigned this short one right here. Now, if you want to edit what comes after bit.ly, you can. You just hit this edit button, and then it'll bring the editor back open. And I can type in Patty Facebook. And then I can see if it's taken. So if I hit enter, it looks like this custom link has already been taken. So sorry, Patty, that one is taken.
Okay.
But you can try,
Can you do Patty Hansen Homes?
Is it 2 N's, Patty?
No.
1 N, okay. Oh, I would have known that when I looked at it. And just remember, bit.ly is case sensitive. So if somebody types this, oops, that's Hannon.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. If somebody types this in with a lowercase p, h, or h, it will not pull to the right page. So if you want it all, if you think that's going to be a problem for people,
It probably will be a problem.
then, oops, make sure you spell it right. Then make sure you put it all in the correct case that you want it to go out in. So let me hit enter again, and it looks like, there we go, it's good to go.
Oh, good.
So now that's your link. Now I have it stored in my account, but that will always work for you. That's anybody in the world can use that link. So now if I hit copy and I type that link in here, so you see how it's just bit.ly/Patty Hansen Homes, it should take me right to your Facebook page. Ta-da!
Ah, good.
And you can do that with any link anywhere on the web. It doesn't have to be, a certain portal or anything. But that's really nice for marketing so that you don't have to have, like if you're doing print marketing or putting something on your business card and you want it to look nice and concise and you don't want a huge URL, that's a great tool to utilize for that. All right. Anything else I can help you guys with? I see lots of black screens here. Not a lot of people have their faces on today. Any questions? I don't see any other questions in the chat, but hi, Kathy.
On the hero images, you said it can hold up to 5.
Yes.
Can I go to Unsplash and pick images?
Yep.
And use there? Okay.
So that's a great question. I was actually thinking about that when I talked about the hero images, so thank you for bringing that up. So Unsplash is one of the free stock photo sites that I like to use. So it's just unsplash.com. And then I'm going to go back to your editor here. Let's go to, I want site and app settings. Okay, so here we have all the pictures, and you can see it says images supported are JPEG or PNG, so it has to be one of those files. And then the recommended size is 1200 by 1200 pixels. So this is important. You don't want your pictures to be blurry. So when you're on Unsplash, you can see I believe when you go to download, no, there's a way. Aha, if I double click it, I think, here we go. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so let's say, I know none of these are what we're looking for, but whatever image you want, you just double click it, And then where it's got that download button, you can see there's a drop down, and you can see the image size right next to it. So in this case, the small image isn't going to work. That's too small. The medium or the large are both big enough. Obviously, this is proportioned the wrong way. We want it horizontal, not portrait. But that gives you the idea on how you can make sure that you're downloading the correct size image. So if you wanted like town, right? Let's do this one. That looks like our area.
Yeah. That's Yorkville, Illinois. Who knew?
Yeah, right? This one's cute. So there's, you just type in any keyword that you want.
Okay. And that's what you could do that when you were talking about holidays and seasonal or whatever.
Yep. So see, when I type in suburb, we get lots of like aerial shots of towns. This could totally be a street by us, except there's a mountain in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could use any of these things. Upload them right in there. Yeah, and then when you guys are, when you have properties that you're listing and you're paying for the photography, you own those photos. So if you've got a really cool shot that you want to highlight in your hero image, you can absolutely use those. And if you're doing photo shoots as for yourself, like a professional photo shoot, I have people that have, they'll have like a picture of them at a desk, or it looks like they're writing a contract or something, and they'll use that as one of their hero images too. So you got lots of options.
How do you, or can you add like Matterport tours and things to?
You can do them in the landing pages. There's technically, yes, you can add them to your website. It's just really tricky. You have to do some coding to be able to do it. There's
Okay, no, never mind.
However, you can do it in a landing page very easily. You just need the link or the MP4 file. I don't know if I have pens pulled up. I just made one. I can't remember what his URL was. I made one for Heather too.
Can you look in your history?
I don't remember what the name of it was. I'm pulling up an email right now to see if I can find it. Give me 1 minute here. Getting warmer.
On those compliance footers that were early on the marketing profile,
Yes.
what would that be? I couldn't figure out, other than the independently owned, what would be something that you would put there.
Some of the states require specific language to be on the websites. So give me 1 second. I'll pull up your site here. So if we go all the way to the bottom, see how it says terms of use, privacy policy, cookie policy. So these are all links to policies that keep us in compliance. So these are all things that are required by various states and the NAR, the IAR, all that kind of stuff. So Keller Williams, kind of everything below this line here is kind of baked in. So you don't have to worry about updating it to keep all of us, tip-top shape. But to answer your question about getting tours in there, I made this for one of the agents in my office. This is a listing he has. And here is a tour he had made. And you can see it's right embedded into that email. That website. This is his landing page.
So in my case, I would ask Tanya to help me with something like this.
Yeah. So everybody in Naperville, you guys have Tanya as your marketing coordinator. So if she and I are pretty good at sharing when need be as well. I do more stuff on the command side than she does, so every now and then she'll ask me for help with that. But I definitely, if you're at Naperville, talk to her first, just because she's gonna be your go-to. If you're at one of our other market centers, we just kind of share a round robin style. Whoever didn't have one from an outside market center last helps with that order.
So is that something that would be, I know you guys have those packages, but is that something that would be on a per hour basis or something?
So I can, well, hang on, I have my menu of services right here. So I don't have all my pricing in my brain.
Disappointed.
Yeah, it is. We do have them listed as hourly just because people want different things all the time. So depending on how much work you want done, it'll take a different amount of time. But this is something that is part of that new listing package. So any package you order for the command listing package will come with a landing page as well. And if you don't have a tour that you've paid for, this part of the page just wouldn't be there. So it's not going to have a hole or anything. The public wouldn't know that something's missing. But I add the download app, there's a lead capture form, and then all of the property information, and then your information at the top.
I like that house.
Yeah. It's a nice one. I think it's close to Kathy. I don't know if she's still on the call though. All right, well, it is 1:54, so I am going to wrap up. You guys, we covered a bunch of stuff today. So just as a quick reminder, since we're still on command here, the left-hand side, you want to go to consumer. I didn't make any changes, but you want to go to consumer and then agent site pages to get into your website updating features. And then if you haven't done anything, go ahead and hit that configure your site, and that will take you right through the Kelly guide. If you guys have not set up your marketing profile yet, at the top right-hand corner, hit that little drop-down arrow and go to settings. And then when that page opens up, come over to the left and go to connect settings and select marketing profile. So you can see Patty's got her profile all filled out here. That's why that information populated right into the website editor, because she already had this section filled out. So do yourself a favor and fill this out first so that you don't have to fill it out twice, because you'd have to fill it out on your website and here in the marketing profile if you do it on your website first. Okay? And that's how you do your basic website setup. And like I said, if you guys are wanting to learn how to add extra pages and do more customization, I do have a class recorded on my YouTube channel. It's called KW Sites Beyond the Basics. It's about an hour class. And we go over how to do things like, I don't know if Pete has any of them on his. So download your app, how to add the app to your website, how to add Keller Mortgage. Oh, he doesn't have his filled out. Bad example.
You could do a mortgage calculator, couldn't you?
That's what, so I don't remember which ones I specifically go over in the class, but you can do all of these the same type of way. But here's the mortgage calculator connected right to Keller Mortgage. You can do a school search. It'll take a second to load here. And you can customize this to your area, and they can see a list, or they can search their own zip code if it's not the one you've predetermined on the website. You can hook up your free home keeper blog that's automatically updated. So you can get all of that embedded into your website. And then, like I said, the app you can put in there as well. And you can do testimonials too. I have a testimonial class as well if you want to learn how to do that. That is recorded and on YouTube. So there's lots of stuff you can do. And if you don't want to do it, or you don't have the time to do it and it's not revenue generating for you, you can contact me or Tanya and we can do it for you.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah, thank you for being our volunteer and letting me use your site today, Patty. Thank you to everybody else who stayed on to check it out. Like I said, I'll be putting this up on YouTube so you guys can view it as many times as you need to.
And now I've been on YouTube.
Yeah. And actually, if you guys are following along with the new 66-day challenge that Marty Miller is doing for Command, today was actually the same thing we went over. So he's got a video out on the basic website setup too. His is real quick that runs through it, but it's a nice little video as well. So thank you again for coming. And next week I will be doing a mastermind around YouTube, same time, 1 o'clock next Thursday. So if you want to use YouTube in your business, we'll be doing a little mastermind around that. I will see you all then.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Amy. Bye.